I would like to know, and even all the students who will be watching this video, they would also like to know that something, a little brief description about you, that who are you, why we have brought you here, and then all those other things.
Yes, sir. My name is Paul Ladrin. I'm from a town called Kochi in Kerala. And in class 10, term 1, I have got good marks. And that's what others have told me. For term 1, in 5 subjects, total 250 marks, I scored 249.
All the students, me, and everyone would be very much delighted to know your journey, that how you traveled so far and you got such a beautiful.
So when class 10 started, it was online classes. And since it was online classes, I was lagging a lot. I mean, I wouldn't study and I wouldn't pay much attention in classes.
Okay.
And only when the notification, I mean, when the exam was confirmed to be in term 1 and term 2, and the dates of term 1 and term 1 was released, I started to get a little serious. At first, I just wanted to get at least slightly good marks, like around 80%. That was my first goal. But after that, I started studying, and then the term 1 marks was really unexpected. Though I did study, and though I was studying a lot, I wasn't expecting this much. Only after I wrote the exam, I thought that the exams went really well. And so, because of this, I wanted to continue the same in term 2. And so, I started learning early. That means I didn't wait till the exam dates were released. Right after term 1 got over, I started with term 2.
So how you were able to manage that anxiety thing, that stress level, or were you not at all stressed that how will I manage?
Because I only started this a little earlier than the exam. That means for term 1, I started preparation about 1 month before my school model exam.
Mm-hmm.
And my only goal was just to complete the syllabus. And but when I started learning, I did not have any anxiety like that. I had my goal set just to complete the syllabus. And after the model exam, I saw some YouTube videos telling me to take some mock tests. That's why I did a lot of sample papers, and I feel that is what helped me get a lot of marks. But my main goal was always just to complete the syllabus. That's why I did not have much anxiety, and I wasn't expecting good marks too. So
how this mock test helped you in which all manner? What all were the pointers?
First of all, I didn't know anything about MCQ exams. After I took one sample paper each for all subjects right before the school model test, and in the school model exams I scored normally. That means not that great, not as much as this, but also around 90%. But after that, I did more sample papers, and it helped me to understand how much time I need to put in each section, how I wanted to manage my time, and what I should focus on. In math, solving questions really fast, and in science, solving the questions which I knew first. So it helped me develop few tricks to help me in the main exam. Yes, in developing a way to approach the questions and approach the exam as a whole.
I would like to know that were you always a very strong candidate in a mathematics field, or you practiced over time and you reduced your silly mistakes wala part?
I was interested in math. I wasn't good at it, but I was interested. So I am able to study it for a long time, practice it for a long time. Unlike other subjects, I can do questions all day and not feel tired like that. That way, in term 1, I did a lot of practice, and that way I reduced a lot of silly errors I was doing. While starting preparation of term 2, also I was doing a good amount of silly mistakes. Even in school model exam, I was.
Now, when you say practice, so I just wanted to know that practice means what? Practicing R.D. Sharma, R.S. Agarwal, NCERT, all of them, or you took only one book, or how was it like?
I completed theory from NCERT and did the questions while I was completing the syllabus. Practice part was taking random questions from the internet, or the best ways to the best preparation was solving the previous year questions, which was in the form of MCQs for term one examination. Practice there is two ways. That is, one is solving the sample paper, and other is solving randomly without any time constraint. First, I was solving randomly questions. Then I started solving sample papers.
Most of the students don't like it. What is the status in your scenario?
Yes, I also my least favorite subject is social science, and the exam was a little tough for me. After writing it, I felt that I might have made a few mistakes.
Okay.
And in sample papers too, I was getting a lot of mistakes because it's a theory-based subject and we need to learn a lot of theory. It was the same thing with biology, but after learning notes, that's the main point. I learned that the questions were not being asked from the finer details, but the more general ones. That way, I focused more on the general details, and somehow the exam asked only about the general details, general theory, and not much into the details of what was given in the text. First, the term one exam was MCQ, so we might think we need to cover a lot of details, and that is true to an extent because they can't ask subjective questions, so they might be run out of questions and need to ask a few finer detailed questions. So, but for me, I felt that term 2 was more tough because first preparation was for MCQ, and now there was only 3 months left for preparing for a subjective exam. And I felt that the subjective preparation was a bit more tough because we need to develop a skill of writing. So any student who can develop that skill can really score good marks in a subjective exam. That will be more important as the future exams will be subjective, probably. Yeah, that writing skill we need to develop to write more with less detail.
So, how did you develop this writing skill, the skill which you are talking about? You practice mock papers, that is one way. So, was the mock paper only thing that you did and it helped you so much, or was something else also you were doing?
I was doing sample papers mainly, and like I said, it teach me more about the way to approach the exam and the time management. I referred to previous year questions to find the pattern about pattern of how the question, what type of questions were asked from what part of the text.
So I hope you were also going through the same phase. You were going to school every day, and after that, after coming from school, you were having YouTube or coaching classes. So in this scenario, how much time you were able to dedicate for your self-study? How much time for schooling? How much time for coaching?
Since the schooling was online, they only took 2 hours in the morning.
Okay, so
I was lucky in that part. After the days passed and exams became closer, teachers started taking some special classes. I had no choice but to skip those because I could cover more if I was doing it myself. A better example would be term 2, where I asked permission to the school to stay home and study.
If I ask you that, what you did in this term 2, what's the planning for your term 2? So how you managed to do for your term 2 and what were your plans?
For term 2, I wanted to not do the mistake I did for term 1. It wasn't a mistake, but I hadn't started preparation until less than 2 months before exam. And so for term 2, I want to start right away, and so I did. After the exam was over, I just gave myself 1 week to enjoy. After that, I started covering syllabus by myself. Before the school has started the chapters, I would learn from YouTube, and I would cover everything before it would be taken in school. Few of the classes were offline, so I had to go. But right soon after I reached home, I would start self-studying, and a month before the exam, I started giving sample papers. For term 1, I only had about 2 weeks to do the mock test and all, so it wasn't much time. And for term two, I had more time.
Despite of this fact that you are getting good benefits from YouTube, you still chose to buy Vipro. So why you chose to buy Vipro? What was the reason behind taking this decision that yes, I want to purchase Vipro, and what benefits did this Vipro bring for you?
So while I was taking classes from YouTube, it was mostly from Vedantu, and I researched a bit because I wanted to know what to do after class 10. That's the time I learned about the future options, and I set up my mind on what to do after class 10. So I was looking for a good coaching, online coaching, and I was interested in joining Vedantu. And so I got an offer to join for both class 10 term 2 and for next 2 years. So I took that offer. First, the classes was from YouTube. I covered a lot of syllabus from YouTube, and I dropped the YouTube because my offline classes started catching up, and I had nothing much to cover. And that was the time when the Vipro classes started. So I could cover the syllabus once again. And after these classes were over, there was a revision session, which also helped me to revise the topics which I learned at first. In the time I skipped my offline classes, which was a bit more than 1 month, I was only doing the Vipro classes, which was in the evening, and the morning I got to dedicate to my self-study. So practicing problems, practicing PYQs, and in the evening there will be theory sessions where I could revise or either learn what I hadn't covered.
So at the end, would you like to add anything to this or any suggestions to your junior that what should they do or what should they not do? Just some final concluding lines.
After I started learning, preparing for term 1, I found some joy in learning.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. At first, I wasn't serious, and like I told, I would be happy with 80-85% marks. But after I started learning, I slowly, in the back of my mind, wanted a bit more, wanted to top the class.
Oh, that's great. Fantastic.
Yes. So through this experience, I got to know about what to do in the future. Other than studies, there was another goal for me during class 10, that was self-improvement. Do not waste time on other like social media and other things like procrastination. That was a big hurdle while I was preparing. So I would be studying, and then I would want to stop studying and waste some of my time. And fighting that, I feel like I improved myself a bit, and from that I wanted to improve myself more in the coming 2 years.